Hey guys, this is Kamikan, and I wanted to go through some sort of scattered thoughts about hard work. And am I pushing myself? Am I pushing myself hard enough? What does it actually look like to work as hard as I possibly can? And then how far can I actually push myself before I break? How do I get to there? How do I get to world class from where I'm sitting? What do I have to give up in order to reach it? How can I make myself disdain wasting time and only spend my time wisely? And that last part is the most important that I'm thinking about, where I am turning off every instinct and impulse. There are habits that I've given up in the past that I just don't do anymore, that I'm not even remotely interested in doing right now. I don't feel that any bit of me is compelled to do or start any of those things. But in the vacuum of space that used to be occupied by a full-time job, a full-time work environment, there is now coming in thing like my attention is going towards videos and things like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh, or things that I'm like, it's like in the vacuum of space that my time has left open. My mind is looking for something new to take up my time and energy, and if I'm not careful, I can basically slip or accidentally fall into a new obsession or a new thing to get interested in. And if I'm really serious about this, I have to try to find a way to take my mind and obsess 100% over just drawing better pages, drawing better comics, drawing better illustrations, as much as I humanly can. And when I think about working as hard as I possibly can, I also think about the Japanese work ethic and how much I look up to that, how much I romanticize the effort that they're putting into their work and trying to get serialized. And I'm trying to see if there's a way I can simulate some level of that over in America for my own work, for my own ends. I'm trying to reach the level of classic Japanese animation from the past. I'm trying to reach that art quality level of let's say like Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, or Studio Ghibli, Spirited Away, or Tokyo, what is it, X99 or something like that. The animation quality on those pieces of work are just beyond what you can even imagine. Meaning, when you look at it, you can't even figure out how it was made. You look at it and you're just like, how would somebody, first of all, even conceive of something like that? And second of all, how are they able to render it with such accuracy? How are they able to render imaginary things with such intense detail and accuracy as if it wasn't a real thing? That's what I think about whenever I'm at the drawing board and trying to use my entire mind and bringing my entire mind to bear on a single page or on a single image. How can I make this better? How can I improve it? How can I go faster so that I can draw at a high quality while also hitting my deadlines? How can I finish this whole project in a shorter time frame than I currently have to do it in, so that I can make even more comics or make even better comics? How can I take this time that I currently have and use it to 100% of the full potential I have inside of me to create? Because I always think of Japanese creators, and I think, man, if there was a Japanese creator in my position, they would be using their time better than I'm currently using it. And I'm doing 4 pages of pencils in a day. And even that, I'm feeling like internally, like, this isn't enough. I can do more, and I know I have to do more if I want to break out of this poverty cycle and make something of my art, of my life, of my skills, of my work. There's just something, I have to push myself even harder. And I'm wondering, what will I have to sacrifice in order to do that? What kind of mindset will I have to adopt in order to do that? What will I have to be willing to do to make that happen? Because even though I might glorify the Japanese work ethic, there's still a lot wrong, or a lot of bad that can happen if you adopt that without balance. Like, I feel that I'm currently reading this manga called Manga Lover, and it's a story about a young manga artist who is trying to get into the industry, and it's actually a story about an editor who finds a young manga artist who is extremely talented, and they work hard to get to the top of their industry. And that is the usual story of most of these manga about making manga, and I love them. I love almost all manga about making manga because they just show you how much dedication goes into crafting those pages. And there was a point where the manga creator, like the author inside the story, not the author of the story, was drawing to the point where she was bleeding. Like, she was bleeding out of her nose because she was pushing herself too hard. And there's this Alex Becker video where he's talking about the training montage of Creed and how he goes out into the desert and he is, running in the desert, strapping tires to his back, punching at things until he bleeds, working out to the point where he throws up, like just going extremely hard for his training camp in preparation for a fight that he has. And he talks about how that level of pushing yourself is completely unsustainable, where you can only do that maybe once or twice, but you can't consistently maintain that level of activity in order to reach your goals. And it's actually detrimental to you to reach your goals. When I think of all the extremely high level manga artists in the industry, all the geniuses that have graced this earth or have graced the medium with their manga, I think about how a lot of them work themselves to the point of mental or physical exhaustion. I think of the examples of the creator of Vagabond, Takehiko Inoue. I think of the creator of Berserk, Kentaro Miura. I think of the creator of Nana, Ai Yazawa. And I think about how all of them are geniuses in their own way, and how all of them push themselves to the point where they either couldn't continue or had to leave the medium in some way or shape or form. And as much as I want to romanticize doing that for my own work, I want to find a way that I can create the highest quality, highest level work that I can possibly make, while creating a rhythm that is consistent enough that I can put out high quality work and keep improving over time, while not flagging or lowering in skill or dedication because I'm putting in so much time and energy into it. I don't want to overdo it and then fall down because I did too much. I want to have a dedicated and consistent time frame of doing things so that I don't just fall out, from doing the comic. Creators that have actually made this work are like the creator of Baki, Keisuke Itagaki, the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Hirohiko Araki. Both of them have figured out some type of system, some way to continuously make work without burning out or dying or getting too injured to the point where they can't create anymore. I feel like a situation like Yoshihiro Togashi, where he created too much to the point of hurting himself, injuries in his back. I think that partly could have been avoided through just sitting correctly in your chair as you draw. But even then, like, the level of dedication and time and energy that you would have to put into a weekly series is still mind-shattering, or it's still mind-bending to the point where even the creators that are doing it well nowadays have a hard time continually doing that. Like the creator of Black Clover, I think he had to move to a different schedule to where he's putting out chapters every 3 months rather than the weekly pace that he started out at. And I think he was realizing that he was missing out a lot on life. And there is that element to it as well, where when I was younger, I just thought I would be healthy forever. And I would want to get into the manga industry and just draw as much as I possibly could forever. And rise up the ranks, get a massive hit anime, and realize my dreams and that kind of thing. But around the time I hit 20, and I realized that dream wasn't forthcoming, it wasn't like happening right away. I also realized there's other things in life that I wanted to do. And there's other things that I wanted to create. And I started to see like I didn't have to go the manga route to accomplish my dreams. Not only for life, not only for comics, but for life. Because like, I want to raise a family. I want to go on adventures. I want to see the world. I want to do different things like that. But if I were to spend the next 10 or 20 years trying to break into the manga industry, especially at my age now, it would just be a waste of time in a different way. While I still want to find a way to get to a world-class level of skill from where I am now, I'm trying to figure out how to get from here to there where I am. You know what I mean? I'm trying to gather the resources or gather the skill, gather the energy needed to make my work recognizable on a worldwide level, like how Invincible was able to do that, how The Walking Dead was able to do that. Part of making these videos is finding a way to put myself out there in a way that can get my work recognized as well. But I still have a long way to go to improve. And now is the time where I have the time, energy, and ability to consistently improve every single page and improve my level of storytelling to the point where I can hit a consistent rhythm and make my work better. So the only thing I can do is try. And some of the things I'm trying, like I have to make sure that the things that I'm trying actually work. I have to think like Atomic Habits, where I am doing 1% to make things easier for me to draw every single day. Make things easier for me to write every single day. Make things easier for me to do the 20% of things that will get me 80% of the results that I'm looking for in life. I want to be able to create things to the vision that I have in my mind. I want to be able to create works that use the full measure of my skill and that can reach the level of the artist that I've admired most in life. So that is what I'm aiming for. And now there's no excuse. Over the years in the past, I've had excuse after excuse. Not necessarily because I'm making the excuse. I mean, I just had jobs and work and endless distractions to stop me from making comics at the pace that I'm trying to reach. But now it's like, okay, I have the editors in place. I have the environment in place. It's time to take it as far as I can possibly go. So there's no excuse to fail at doing this. So I'm wondering what I could create without the distractions holding me back. And in the past, I've always felt that distraction or the way my mind wanders actually helps me draw better or come up with ideas or find ideas that will improve my art. But I think at this point I've reached a critical mass where I have enough collected ideas over the years to do everything that I'm aiming to do with my work right now. So I don't need to collect anymore. And I need to find a way to focus my mind, focus my mental energies, my life energies, draw everything I can into this moment, into this period of time where I can make something that will either make or break everything that I do going forward. I'm in a very, very fortunate position, and I realize that, where I'm getting paid to make my own work, my own idea, and bring it to fruition. I'm not drawing for somebody else. I'm not writing for somebody else. I'm not drawing somebody else's idea. I'm doing my full idea for myself. Like, I'm doing my own idea, and I'm like, well, there's no reason for me to half-ass this. So how can I put my whole being into it? And what will I have to do to make sure that I put everything I have into it and leave nothing on the table? Like, I want to feel every single day that I've put all of myself into my work and left nothing on the table every single day. I think one of the first things that I will do is figure out a way to just get started working, just get started drawing, instead of taking my time and slowly easing into the process. Like, I still have to do things to maintain my health during the morning, but sometimes it could take me an hour or two to get into the process, even without watching YouTube or anything like that. So I'm going to try to find a way to just start drawing, get into it, have a daily routine of doing a little small warm-up, some sketches, get my hand ready, and then just go into it so I can maintain and keep this pace for as long as possible. But yeah, that was just a video of my scattered thoughts of thinking about how hard I could possibly work, and what levels I can reach if I actually fully put my whole self into it. For me, it feels like beyond going, like, just locking in. Like, it feels like I have to use my whole mind and my whole being, and then find other people who are also doing the same thing, and then attract them to me, so that we can put our heads together and figure out a way to make something that not only touches other people in their soul, but then sells, so that we can create a sustainable business for our art. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. The comic that I'm currently making is everything that I'm pouring my whole soul and mental energy into. It is my chance to create something that I can leave behind, and that I would be happy to leave behind if it was the only thing I ever finished. And that is my latest webcomic called Saintly. It is a demon chase horror action comedy about two best friends who have to outrun the demon loan sharks that they borrowed from. Basically, it's like Scooby-Doo meets K-pop demon hunters without the K-pop. And the story backs the main character into a corner where she has to decide between the hard path to success or lose her soul to the lure of easy money. And we get to see the ramifications of her choice, and if she can hide this deal with the devil from her friend, or if it will tear them apart. And I hope you read my comic in the description and check out the story. It should appear in your email inbox or your spam folder if you don't see it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my scattered thoughts. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.